What is the difference you found between women's cricket and men's cricket, because you work on both sides?
वैसा देखा जाए तो ज़्यादा नहीं है, ज़्यादा फ़र्क नहीं है. There are certain things which you have to adjust or readjust in your mind. I've always been involved with men's cricket all my life. For 35 years, I've been, with men's cricket. But women's cricket, I was, that's the first time I was involved with women's cricket. It just opened my understanding of the game, opened a different door for me.
Can you share some examples?
There are so many things that certain field positions, I felt that, in men's cricket, it's a given. But here I had to readjust. I asked, a couple of times I had to ask my computer analyst who was sitting, what is she doing over there? A small little thing. But he looked at me and he said, sir, this is women's cricket. That fielder is always there. And in men's cricket, the sweeper covers was always a little finer because of the pace of the ball, because of the shots that were played.
Speed at which
the
goes?
speed that it moves. So I had to readjust my thinking that sweeper cover fielder would be towards extra cover and not towards point. Small little thing that was. I had to readjust with the speed of the game. Speed of the game, as in the speed on the ball. The game is equally fast, and we have tried to do that. We had consciously tried to get to 300 in a 50 over game. The whole conversation within the group is, how are we going to end up getting 300? The entire conversation revolves around that. From any given position, how are we going to end up getting 300? So that we get the pace of the game right.
Which is otherwise normal in men's cricket.
Men's cricket, it's achieved over and over again. But in women's cricket, in the last 2 years, I can't remember the stats off the cuff for me right now, but it's phenomenal in the last 2 years that Indian women's cricket team has achieved, has gone on to score more than 300 runs in a 50 over game.
Sports is a great leveler, everyone says. Bring discipline, required commitment. Do you believe that sport should be introduced as one of the major subjects in our schooling?
As you said, sport is a great leveler. I feel it teaches you a lot of things about life. A lot of things about life. In sport, success is very limited. Failure is guaranteed. Guaranteed. So you learn to deal with those failures more than how you deal with your success. And if you could teach the young kid how to deal with failures, I think that's the bottom line of it. It's my personal goal. I would love to see this country not a sport playing country, but a sports loving country.
Wonderful. There's always a curiosity with respect to the sports person's mind. Because if you look into a sports person mind, it has a lots of extremities. You have a solid success coming in, you have a failure, you score century, you get out on zero, and all said and done, talking all positive and motivational thing, it's very difficult to walk back with zero. And that each time when you walk back, mentally you are off. And then again, you come back and you score. So what is so unique about a sports person mind and how they really create this mind?
You're trained to be in the present. And now when I'm at this age, I think I know a few things about cricket now. That cricket taught me to be in the present as what yoga teaches you. Right. For me, batting was meditation.
So only the question which I'm asking is basically, we want our audience, when they see Life Unscripted, we want them to take some lessons home. We want them to take some of the aspects of this in their life. What we have seen in organizations and corporates, people's ability to handle dynamism, variability is not there. And one of the reason we believe is the school, because you get 12 months to prepare for an exam, which you don't get in real life. You revised subjects 5 times, which you otherwise don't get an options while you are dealing in a real time situations. So it's very necessary for people to build up reflections, muscle memory. Intelligence, theoretically people define in terms of what grade you are getting, A plus, 90, 95. In real life, intelligence is your ability to do something which you have never done and never seen in life. Which normally when you are playing a sports, you don't know how the baller is going to ball and how the batter is going to hit the ball. So you are prima facie ready to handle the uncertainty. So what we believe, those kind of teaching should also go to the school. How a good coach can help students or professionals to build their muscle memory and reflections.
True, very true. Also, how do you deal with failures?
Yes.
Plus, at the same time, you are dealing with young minds. Where you can shape those minds. And it only happens in school. So I think cricket or any sport probably teaches you how to deal with situations. And ultimately life is about dealing with situations. Wherever you go, you will have things challenging you, and you have to deal with it. And that's what I feel. That's the reason why I said that sport needs to be inculcated in school curriculum. Somehow it has to be. Any sport, you take any sport for that matter, you give a choice to the parents as well as the kid. Whichever sport she loves, you need to take it up. Because A is the failure, the muscle memory to react to challenges, and dealing with situations. Now, for example, in cricket, if I'm sent at a tender age of 12 or 13 to deal with the situation where my team is 30 for 3 and I have to bail my team out, I deal with that situation day in, day out. And if I do it 10 times, 12 times, 15 times, it gets into my DNA. That's why I feel, sport is an important aspect of your life, and it needs to be added into the curriculum.